I don't know how I can start this video without screaming my head off, because that is precisely what I want to do after reading this comment from our wonderful, wonderful GM, Brian Cashman, who said today in an interview with MLB Network Radio, he actually said this yesterday, but it came out today. He says that Aaron Hicks will likely be the Yankees' starting left fielder in 2023. And then he continues on by saying, I suspect he will be the guy that emerges because he's still really talented and everything's there. Okay, first of all, Brian Cashman, I have a message for you.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
So take that as what you will. And I am dumbfounded, flabbergasted, disgusted, really, that this is the Yankees' mindset right now, if we believe this to be true. I mean, there is a possibility that Cashman is just playing us and fooling us. In reality, he's going to look to make a trade for Hicks, and that he's just doing this to juice up the market. It's a possibility, but you could just say no comment. When asked about Hicks, you could just say, we're not going to comment on that. But this is really, really disgusting that after all the discussions we've had recently about Brian Reynolds, about Jurickson Profar, we had these guys that we were happy with, and when it always came back to discussing those guys, the main thing always was, all right, at least it's not Hicks. But now to hear that the Yankees are going to hear it from Brian Cashman's mouth, to hear it from him, that Aaron Hicks, who last year had a 1.6 WAR, who had 8 home runs, who had over 100 strikeouts, who grounded into every double play with the bases loaded imaginable, that this guy is going to probably, most likely, be the starting left fielder for this team next year, is an absolute disgrace. And I hope and pray that this is just his way of trying to make him sound appealing to everyone else. I hope that that's it. Because if this is actually it, then that's terrible, and it just goes to show the Yankees' mindset of, we're good, we make the playoffs every year, we don't need to win a World Series, and the team that we have now, the team that got swept by Houston, that team's good enough. We're good. We just need to do a couple things. We're fine. I hope and pray that is the case, that he's going to trade him and he's just trying to do something. But if there's there, I mean, and those quotes, I mean, he'll be the guy that emerges. He's still really talented. Outside of the home run against Houston in May, what did Aaron Hicks do this year to prove to you that he's really talented? I mean, the giving up on plays, that great play against Tampa where he misplaced the ball and then he just sat there and didn't pick it up for like 10 whole seconds. What in there in Aaron Hicks? And Aaron Hicks is also, he's not young anymore, Aaron Hicks. How old is the guy? The guy's 33? He's not what he was in 2018. He's a different guy. A bad guy. An awful, awful player. He had 27 home runs in 2018. Since then, he's had 30. You can't expect anything different from Aaron Hicks than what you've had in the last few years. He is bad. He's awful. And when he's not hurt, he's trash at this point. And I expect nothing. And for the Yankees to say this out loud, God, if that's a mindset, and we've given the team a lot of credit this year when they deserved it, in this offseason when they deserved it. But if this is their mindset, this is a scary, scary mindset of where the team was. I much rather prefer the Yankees when they said we're not done yet. Like we're going to still make some moves. I prefer that than Aaron Hicks is our starting left fielder. Talk about waving the white flag. What a disgrace that is. I would imagine that everyone listening to me would agree with me on this. That no one's going to sit there and say, "Oh no, this is actually great that the Yankees are going to do this." I mean, that because we, unlike Brian Cashman, have watched the last 3 years of Yankees, and we know of Aaron Hicks, and we know that he absolutely blows, and that there's no reason to have this guy as the starting left fielder. That there's nothing that he does that is in any way comparable to being a starting left fielder. That he should be in minor league baseball. I mean, put Oswaldo in there for crying out loud. Put Oswaldo, it doesn't matter. Put anyone out there over Hicks. So I would imagine that most of the comments are going to agree with me. But tell me what you think below. Do you think, are we just being played here? And is Cashman just trying to do a thing to get Hicks up in the market? I pray for that, but I'm not so sure. With Brian, you never know, because Brian's got an ego, and Brian does not want to admit he got it wrong. Brian does not want to admit that he messed this up, but we'll see. That's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll be back with the latest Yankees news, and I hope it's way more positive than this. Take care and God bless.